First, a cancer update, and with regard to that, there's mostly good news, everyone. And the good news is that the side effects are diminishing relatively rapidly, except for one effect, and that's the numbness in my fingers and toes. It seems to be just as numb now. They seem to be just as numb now as say 2 weeks ago. But that's not necessarily a concern of mine. Well, actually it is, but let's just say that it's the only side effect that's affecting me, and hopefully it'll go away soon. Okay, next issue I want to talk about is how computers suck. I bought this Toshiba laptop a few months ago, and all I'm getting is daily malfunctions of one sort or another. I'm blaming this on planned obsolescence, because if they made computers that really worked, that could last for decades, these computer companies wouldn't make much money. So they deliberately make computers crappy and scrappy, so you have to buy one every year or every few years or every month or whatever. Yeah, I hate that. Another reason to support a resource-based economy, because in a resource-based economy, products would be made to last for decades, even centuries if necessary. Next, I want to talk about pay-to-click ads, pay-to-click sites, that sort of thing. Pay-to-click refers to a system where you click an ad on a page, on a web page full of ads, and you get paid some money just for looking at the ad. Unfortunately, for most PTC sites, the money you get from even one ad could be like 1/10 of a cent, or probably at the most 1 cent, and so you don't make much money. But a lot of these PTC sites also have surveys. Yeah, surveys. And of course, if you fill out a survey, you make more money than you do clicking ads. I think it was last year. Yeah, that was definitely last year. Last year, I stumbled upon a number of pay-to-click ads. So don't pay 1 cent or half a cent or whatever for ads, but they claim that you can get as much as $1 per ad, or $2, or $5, or even $100. Yeah, that's crazy. I did sign up for some of these sites, but I initially knew they were probably scams. And one site I went to, I think it was maybe $100 clicks or whatever. When you get $100 per ad you click, that sort of thing. I remember reaching the cash out amount, actually, and when I found out, when I tried to cash out, more precisely, I discovered that it would take a year for them to do the cash out, and I think a year's already passed and I haven't gotten a cent. So at least the good part is I didn't spend any money on their upgrades. The bad news is that I didn't get paid. But at least I think not falling for their scam by signing up for an upgraded account is, I guess, very smart of me. And then there's the issue of my obsession with 1984, the year 1984. The problem with that, the issue with that is it's not, I'm not really thinking much about 1984 as I did a couple weeks ago, but still like the idea of going back to 1984. And the idea is, go back to 1984, I relive my life from then until now. Now, assuming that I do get zapped back to 1984 now, but of course that's unlikely to happen. Anyway, I think like I said in the previous video, if I go back to 1984, I might figure out a way to prevent Reagan from getting a second term, or prevent my sister from being murdered. But on the Reagan thing, I might as well bring this up because, okay, when I was in college in 1984, I joined some kind of Students from Mondale group, I suggested that I suggested to the members that we should emphasize the fact that Reagan was endorsed by the KKK, and they said, "No, we don't want to do that. We'd be stooping to their level." That's extremely naive, because we all know how evil and cutthroat politics is. So, of course, I guess by today's standards, admitting that Reagan or some other candidate was endorsed by the KKK wouldn't be a problem. At least that's what I think. And even back then, like I said before, politics is a cutthroat and basically dishonorable career path, let's say. And it's also another reason to support a resource-based economy, because in a resource-based economy, government as we know it would not exist. Instead, it would be replaced by cybernation. That is, a resource-based economy can be referred to as a cybernetic technocracy. And with that being the case, you would reduce, if not eliminate, human error. And one final thing I want to bring up is that some feminist person of some sort responded to my video on why we need gender equality and not feminism. Her responses were pretty lame, as feminists usually do. Yeah, as lame as most feminists tend to express. I'll explain to her about the Valerie Solanas situation, how she wanted all men exterminated, and she thought that was irrelevant. It's not irrelevant because, but then, okay, let me restate this. Okay, after her response, I told her that there are still feminists today who agree with Valerie Solanas' sentiments, and I forgot what she said after that, but it was something bullshitty. Yeah, I'm gonna call it bullshitty. But I would like to emphasize my strong support for gender equality. But you can't have gender equality with feminism. Feminism is not about gender equality. It's about female supremacy. It's about giving females advantages over men. And of course, this is based on the notion that men have oppressed women for centuries, therefore it's our turn to oppress them. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, there has been oppression of women for centuries. There's also been oppression of men for centuries. Men and women both have problems. This is why we need to freak out about this collar. This is why we need to solve problems for both genders. I think one of the reasons why feminists want to emphasize the female gender so much is because we live in a monetary system where there's a limited amount of money. So they figure, well, since there's a limited amount of money, that means that most of it should go to us, because we suffered it and all this other bullshit. Well, not really bullshit, but you know what I mean. If this were a resource-based economy, feminism would be rendered obsolete, because in RBE, the government is like I said before, how am I trying to say this? A cybernetic technocracy, which means that the government only oversees the production of resources, the distribution of resources, that sort of thing. It doesn't tell you how to live. Since that's the case, you can live your life any way you want, pretty much. Yep. I'd like to say more. That's a long way saying, but I think I'm ready to go to sleep. Go to sleep for the night or whatever. So, with that being the case, see you later, Ralph Nader.